My beloved one, if these words are finding you now, it is not by chance. Heaven has seen the tears you tried to hide, the nights you whispered, "Lord, why is love taking so long?" The angels have heard your heart's quiet ache, and they come to whisper a truth that will bring peace where confusion once lived. This delay, this divine pause, was never a punishment. It was a holy preparation. You see, God does not withhold blessings, He perfects them. He does not delay out of indifference. He delays out of divine precision. Sometimes the time you call waiting is actually heaven building the strength within you, the purity in them, and the sacred alignment that only heaven can orchestrate. For love, when chosen by God, is not rushed. It is refined. There were moments when you felt forgotten, when silence echoed louder than answers. But even in that silence, God was speaking, not through words, but through shaping. He was teaching you to stand without crumbling, to love without begging, and to trust without seeing, because the love He has for you will not demand your pain to prove its worth. It will recognize your spirit and guard it. As it is written, "The Lord will perfect that which concerns me." Psalm 138, 8 KJV. That means nothing concerning you is ever incomplete in His hands. Not even love. Angels say the reason you had to wait is because the person your heart recognizes was still learning to recognize themselves. They were still healing from the wounds that would have hurt you. They were still being molded by God to love you in a way that would honor heaven. Sometimes two souls are ready in spirit, but not yet refined in time. And God, in His mercy, separates what is not yet whole, so that when reunion comes, it does not break. It blesses. So do not see the delay as distance. See it as protection. Every unanswered prayer was God whispering, "Not yet, my child, but soon, and better than you imagine." Heaven says your love story is sacred. It carries a purpose far beyond romance. It is meant to reflect the heart of God. That's why He's been careful. That's why He's been slow, because divine love cannot be rushed by human impatience. It blooms only when both hearts are ready to hold what eternity designed. You are not late. You are being aligned. And when alignment meets timing, heaven calls it destiny. The angels want you to know something deeper now. They say, you have not missed it. What belongs to you is still on its way. And the path that seems quiet now is only preparing the sound of divine footsteps approaching. There will come a moment soon when what was hidden will be revealed. The person your soul has felt connected to will begin to feel a divine stirring, a longing they cannot explain, a pull they cannot ignore. And that pull will lead them toward you, for it is written, "No good thing does He withhold from those who walk uprightly." Psalm 84:11 ESV. The love you were promised is still good. It's just becoming ready. You may not see it yet, but heaven has been weaving threads of timing, distance, and faith into a masterpiece. Each delay has carried purpose. Each silence has carried direction. Each lonely night has carried preparation. God never wastes a season, even this one. There are angels who walk beside you, calming the storms of doubt that whisper, "Maybe it's not meant for me." But the truth is, it is meant for you. It's simply being prepared for your soul. Not just your heart, because your heart craves connection, but your soul craves destiny. And God is faithful to both. So now breathe, beloved soul. You have not lost your promise. You are walking through its becoming. You are being softened, not broken. Refined, not rejected. Protected, not postponed. Even when your prayers felt unanswered, heaven was answering with silence, because silence is sometimes God's most tender form of protection. Before this part ends, I want you to hear this truth in your spirit. Your love has not been delayed. It has been divinely timed. Your waiting has not been wasted. It has been worship in disguise. And your tears have not been unseen. They have been water to the seed of destiny. Soon, what you prayed for will find you, not as a test, but as a testimony. And when it does, you'll understand why it had to take this long. You'll see how heaven was aligning every heart, every prayer, every divine peace. You'll whisper, "Now I see." The waiting was never a punishment. It was God's way of protecting my forever. If this message has touched your spirit, share it with someone you love, for there are souls who need to be reminded that God's timing is never cruel, only careful. And if you feel led, you can support this ministry through a super thanks. Your love helps us keep spreading peace and light to more hearts like yours. Until the next part, rest in this truth. The delay was divine. The reason is love, and heaven is still working on the promise that has your name written in light. Be still before the Lord and wait patiently for him. Psalm 37:7 NIV. The angels smile as they whisper, "You were never waiting alone." The angels say you are entering the part of your story where the unseen begins to make sense. In the silence after the waiting, heaven begins to reveal what it was doing in secret. There are moments in every divine journey where love must be hidden, not because it is lost, but because it is still sacred. Heaven hides what it holds dear, just as a seed must rest beneath the soil, unseen by the world before it blooms into beauty. So too must divine love remain protected in silence until it is ready to rise. God did not forget the love he placed in your heart. He covered it, wrapped it in his hands, and whispered, "Not yet." He did not hide it from you, he hid it for you, because the world has a way of touching sacred things too soon. And when something holy is exposed before its time, it can wither under misunderstanding. So he hid your love the way he hid Moses in the reeds, the way he hid David in the wilderness, the way he hid Jesus in Nazareth. Until the appointed time, heaven hides greatness before it's revealed. And your love, this sacred connection, is no different. Maybe you felt like you've been forgotten, like the one your soul aches for no longer feels you. But the angels whisper softly, they still do. It's just that God has placed both of you in separate sanctuaries of transformation. What you see as silence, heaven calls safety. For if this love had appeared too soon, it would have been crushed by unhealed hearts, pride, or fear. But now, every hidden thing is being healed. Every lost thread is being rewoven by divine hands. The angels say the reason it's been so quiet is because God wanted to strengthen your spirit more than your emotions. He wanted you to know that your identity was not in the waiting, not in the relationship, but in his love for you. He has been teaching you that the foundation of divine love is not desperation, it is devotion, because what you will receive will not be ordinary love. It will be heaven's reflection. And to carry such love, you had to first become strong enough to hold what God himself designed. There is someone whose soul still whispers your name in prayer, even if their lips do not speak it aloud. At night, heaven hears their quiet wondering, "Did I lose them forever?" And heaven answers, "Not lost, only protected." This love was too divine to be destroyed by timing. It was written beyond time. And so, even when your lives seemed to move apart, the spirit connection remained, untouched, unbroken, unforgotten, because the Spirit of God does not abandon what he authors. And when he writes love, he writes it in eternal ink. You may wonder, but why would God hide love if it's meant to be shared? And the angels answer, because love that comes from heaven must be handled with holiness. Heaven will not allow what is divine to be treated as disposable. He hides it until both hearts are ready to cherish it, not chase it, until love becomes less about need and more about purpose. For everything there is a season and a time for every purpose under heaven. Ecclesiastes 3:1. The delay was not a denial, it was divine timing in disguise. And in this sacred hiding, God has been working miracles you cannot yet see. He's been whispering to their heart in dreams. He's been healing wounds you could never reach. He's been softening pride, breaking fear, rebuilding faith. And the same hands that are shaping them are the hands that have been carrying you. You are both being written into the same divine story, but in different chapters. Soon those pages will turn, and what once felt distant will feel destined. The angels are saying now, when the time comes, you will not have to search. The connection will find you. It will not arrive with confusion, but with clarity. It will not come with fear, but with peace. It will not demand proof, but it will carry presence, because heaven never reintroduces love in chaos, only in calm. Maybe this time apart has made you question your worth, but beloved, you are still chosen, still seen, still sacred. God's delay was his way of protecting you from being loved halfway. He wanted someone who could meet your heart in full, not in fragments, and so he hid your love until they could hold it with both hands when the appointed hour comes. And you will see divine alignment unfold so naturally that you'll know it was never coincidence. A text, a call, a meeting, a moment, God will weave it with ease. You will feel the peace of recognition, not the chaos of chasing, because love that is divine does not demand you to run. It meets you where your soul has already been waiting. The angels are showing me an image now. Two candles that have been burning separately in the dark, and heaven gently brings them together until their flames become one brighter light. That is what's coming for you. Two lights merging under divine timing, illuminating what was once hidden. For the light shines in the darkness, and the darkness has not overcome it. John 1:5. What was hidden in darkness will soon shine in light. And when it does, it will feel like remembering something your soul always knew. Until then, stay faithful in your waiting. Keep tending your heart like sacred soil, because even the hidden seasons are holy. You have not been forgotten. You have been guarded by grace, and soon this hidden love will step into the light, not as a mystery, but as a miracle. If this message has spoken to your spirit, take a deep breath and whisper, I trust God's timing. Share this message with someone who feels unseen in their waiting, so they too may remember that heaven hides love not to punish, but to protect. And if you feel led, you can support this channel through a super thanks. Your kindness allows these messages of peace and healing to continue reaching hearts across the world. Beloved one, the angels say, the dawn is coming. The season that once felt heavy with waiting is beginning to glow with quiet revelation. The delay you once feared was your heartbreak will soon reveal itself as your greatest protection, because every divine story has a moment when heaven turns the waiting into understanding, and that moment is drawing near. You have reached a sacred turning point in your journey, as the time when hidden meaning begins to unfold. What once felt like distance will begin to feel like divine design. What once felt like silence will now sound like God's softest yes. You will see that the things you thought were working against you were actually working for you. As it is written, and we know that in all things God works for the good of those who love him, who are called according to his purpose. Romans 8:28 NIV. Every delay, every tear, every lonely prayer, none of it was wasted. Each moment was a part of God's holy architecture, shaping you for the love that was always meant to last. The angels whisper that heaven has been preparing a meeting, not of chance, but of divine orchestration. The one whose soul mirrors yours has been awakening too. They have felt the stirring, the shift, the unseen pull towards something they cannot yet explain, and soon their spirit will remember you. But before this union unfolds, heaven is revealing something precious. The waiting was never about timing alone. It was about revelation. God was revealing you to you. He was teaching you who you are without the approval of love, so that when love arrives, it meets the version of you that knows their worth in God, not in validation. He wanted your joy to be rooted in his presence, not in someone's promise. Because love built on divine identity cannot be shaken by human inconsistency, you are not the same soul who began this waiting. You are wiser now, softer yet stronger, more patient yet more certain. You have learned to pray not for what you want, but for what is right, and that growth has called forth a new level of blessing. You have reached the spiritual maturity that can now hold what heaven is ready to give. The angels say, "Now the waiting will shift into witnessing. You will begin to witness divine orchestration in motion, little signs that tell you heaven is near, the repeated numbers, the familiar song, the dream that feels too vivid to be random, the sudden peace that settles over your heart for no reason at all. These are not coincidences. They are confirmations. There was once a time when love was about wanting. Now love is about understanding. You no longer crave what simply feels good, you crave what feels God-led. That is the transformation the delay has birthed within you. It turned longing into faith, desire into devotion, waiting into worship. You became the very reflection of divine patience, and heaven honors that. Soon, what has been delayed will begin to unfold like dawn after the longest night. Not suddenly but softly, like morning light creeping across a quiet field. You will not have to chase it. It will arrive gently, naturally, divinely. There will be no confusion this time, only peace. Because the spirit that governs divine love is never chaotic. As it is written, "For God is not the author of confusion, but of peace." 1 Corinthians 14:33 KJV. Peace will be your confirmation. Stillness will be your sign. The angels are saying that both you and this person have been purified by time. The fire of delay burned away the ego, fear, and impatience that once clouded clarity. Now, both hearts are softer, ready to see love as a form of worship. Not possession, you will love with humility, not expectation. With service, not control. With faith, not fear. Because you have learned that divine love is not about filling emptiness, it's about overflowing together from God's fullness. Beloved, heaven says you are about to see evidence of divine timing in motion, an unexpected reconnection, a message, a sudden knowing, but when it happens, do not rush, breathe, pray. Let the Spirit guide your steps, because the same God who aligned your paths once will align them again, perfectly, tenderly, divinely, and you will recognize each other not by words, but by peace. This time, you will not question if it's right. You will feel it in your spirit, the calm, the warmth, the quiet certainty that only God can give, and in that stillness the angels will whisper, "Now you see." The delay was never denial. It was divine revelation, for heaven did not withhold this love. It refined it. It raised it higher. It sanctified it, so that when it comes it mirrors God's own love. Patient, kind, steadfast, eternal. Love is patient, love is kind. It always protects, always trusts, always hopes, always perseveres. Love never fails. 1 Corinthians 13:48 NIV. You will soon understand that the delay was not an empty waiting, but a sacred gestation, a holy becoming. And when revelation comes, your heart will not just recognize another soul, it will recognize the hand of God that wrote your story all along. You will whisper, "Now I see why it took so long." It wasn't punishment, it was protection, it was preparation, it was perfect. The angels want to leave you with this truth before you rest. Your story is still unfolding. Do not rush the pages. God is not done revealing His beauty in your life. Heaven delays only to deliver something eternal, and when love finally arrives, you will look back at the waiting and thank God for every unanswered prayer that led you here. If this message has opened peace within your spirit, share it with someone who needs to be reminded that waiting is not wasted when God is in control. And if your heart feels led, you can support this channel through a super thanks, so that these gentle words of light may continue reaching souls in search of divine comfort. Beloved heart, the angels say, a sacred convergence is drawing near. The reunion that heaven has been preparing is not far from your sight, though it may still be unseen by your eyes. What has been delayed is now being directed. What has been silent is now being softly stirred. And what once felt distant is now moving closer under divine command. This is the season when heaven begins to orchestrate the return of what was promised. For love, when written by God, is not a coincidence of hearts. It is a covenant of souls. And covenants cannot be broken by time, distance, or fear. Even when two souls wander, heaven keeps their names beside one another in the book of divine alignment. And when the appointed moment arrives, God turns the page, and their paths cross again. You may not realize it, but the one your soul remembers has been thinking of you more deeply than ever before. In moments of quiet reflection, they have felt a strange peace when your name drifts through their mind, as if God himself was whispering your presence back into their spirit, because the reunion you've prayed for is not merely emotional, it is spiritual. It is heaven reminding both of you what I joined in spirit. No distance can divide. The angels say heaven has been orchestrating this with divine precision. There have been countless little nudges, moments that drew you to prayer, songs that spoke words you could not say, numbers and dreams that felt too exact to be random. Each was a thread, and God has been weaving them into reunion. What you thought was delay was really design. What you thought was silence was really synchronization. Even in their life, heaven has been rearranging things, removing the distractions, closing the wrong doors, calming the noise, so that when the divine call to return arises, they will hear it clearly. As it is written, the heart of man plans his way, but the Lord establishes his steps. Proverbs 16:9 ESV. Heaven has been establishing every step, theirs and yours. Every decision, every redirection, every unexpected detour has been part of a celestial choreography. You were never walking separate paths. You were simply walking different parts of the same circle, destined to meet again at its divine center. But before the physical reunion, there is always a spiritual one. The angels say that even now, your souls are meeting in prayer, in dream, in divine thought. The energy of recognition is growing stronger, a vibration between two hearts that heaven is calling home. And soon, the physical world will catch up to what the spirit has already begun. You may feel the signs increasing, a name appearing unexpectedly, a song you both once shared playing at the perfect moment, the sensation of being watched over, as though heaven itself is preparing you. These are not illusions. They are invitations to believe, because God reveals what He is about to release. And right now, He is revealing the nearness of your divine connection. Beloved, the angels say this love is no longer being delayed, it is being delivered. But it will come differently this time. It will not rush in like a storm. It will arrive like sunrise, softly, surely, silently. It will feel peaceful, not like a chase, but like a homecoming, because divine love never demands, it recognizes. It does not force, it flows. It does not confuse, it confirms. Heaven wants you to prepare your heart, not by waiting and longing, but by resting in trust. You have already done the work. You have prayed through tears, surrendered through silence, trusted through uncertainty. Now you are being asked to receive peace where worry once lived. Receive faith where fear once whispered. Receive joy where sorrow once rested. For the energy of reunion cannot enter a heart filled with doubt. It enters through surrender, through the peace that says, Lord, I trust you, even if I do not yet see. You will know the reunion is near when peace feels stronger than pain. When you no longer ache for love, but simply welcome it. When you no longer pray from fear, but from gratitude, because gratitude is the sound of faith fulfilled. It tells heaven, I am ready. The angels say this reunion carries purpose. It's not just to soothe loneliness, it is to awaken divine partnership. Together, you will serve as light bearers, reminding others that true love is born from healing, not haste. That divine timing is never cruel, it is creative. And that what God joins, He refines through patience before He reveals through presence. Your love will not be ordinary, It will carry heaven's fragrance. It will heal. It will uplift. It will shine. Therefore, what God has joined together, let no one separate. Mark 10:9 NIV. This time, nothing will be able to separate what heaven has sealed. Not fear, not distance, not misunderstanding, because both of you will have learned to love, not through attachment, but through divine awareness. You will love with clarity, not confusion, with peace, not pressure, with faith, not fear. As the reunion draws near, do not seek control, seek closeness to God. For the closer you are to Him, the clearer you will see the path unfolding. Spend these days in gratitude, stillness, and preparation. Let your heart remain soft, your prayers steady, your faith open. Because when heaven says now, it will happen in a moment so simple that it will take your breath away. You will realize that nothing was ever lost. It was all being led back to you in perfect time. The angels are smiling now. They are surrounding both of you, guiding the next steps, aligning divine encounters. What once felt impossible will soon feel inevitable, because divine love, once awakened, cannot be buried. It may sleep for a season, but when the appointed hour comes, heaven itself breathes life into it again. If this message has brought peace to your heart, take a deep breath and whisper, "I am ready for divine reunion." Share this message with someone who has been waiting for their own sacred love story, so they too may feel hope returning to their spirit. And if you feel led, you can support this channel through a super thanks. Your kindness helps these messages of light continue to reach hearts that long for peace and purpose. Beloved heart, the angels say the time has come for revelation. The moment heaven has been preparing is approaching quietly, like dawn creeping across the edge of night. You may not see it yet, but something divine is moving beneath the surface. The silence that once felt endless is beginning to tremble with purpose. This is the season when truth begins to unfold. When the one heaven aligned to your soul begins to see clearly, not through the eyes of longing, but through the eyes of awakening, they are beginning to understand what their heart could never forget. For a long time, confusion clouded their vision. They could not comprehend the depth of what they felt for you. The connection frightened them because it was unlike anything they'd known. It felt eternal, weightless, holy. So they ran, not out of disinterest, but out of unpreparedness. Because divine love is not light, it is sacred fire. And only those who are refined can carry it without burning. But, beloved, the fire that once frightened them is now drawing them home. God has been speaking to their heart in stillness, showing them the truth of your connection in dreams, in memories, in signs they cannot ignore. They are beginning to see that the love they sought elsewhere was always hidden in your spirit. The angels say they are awakening. They are seeing how every delay was necessary, how every separation shaped them to love you in the way heaven intended. They now understand that what they mistook for an ending was actually a beginning, that what they thought they lost was being protected, that the person they prayed to find has been you all along, and this revelation is coming not from human desire, but from divine realization, because only God can reveal to the heart what the mind could not grasp. What God has prepared for those who love Him. 1 Corinthians 2:9 IV. That is what is now unfolding, a love that has been refined by delay, purified by prayer, and sealed by divine intention. The angels say your person is feeling a pull, a gentle but unshakable calling to return, to make right, to reconnect not just with you, but with God's purpose for both of you. They are being reminded of the peace they once felt in your presence. The calm, the light, the quiet recognition that their soul was home. For months, perhaps even years, they tried to silence it. They told themselves, "It's over. It's just a phase." But the heart that belongs to God cannot lie to itself for long. Heaven has been whispering to them through the same signs that once spoke to you. The number sequences, the familiar songs, the unexpected dreams, and now each sign feels louder, more alive, more insistent, because the appointed time of awakening has arrived. The Angels are showing me an image, a rose that has remained closed for so long suddenly, beginning to bloom under the warmth of morning. Light. That is their heart right now. What was once guarded is now opening. What was once hidden is now ready to be revealed. And soon they will speak, not from ego, but from truth. They will tell you things you never thought you'd hear. They will share what God has shown them. The regrets, the lessons, the love that never faded, but this time their words will carry peace. They will not seek to impress you, they will seek to honor you. They will not return to take, they will return to give. Because true revelation always leads to restoration. The angels want you to prepare your spirit for this. Not in anxiety, not in overthinking, but in surrender. Do not try to imagine how it will happen. Do not rehearse what you will say. Simply rest in trust, because heaven's timing unfolds without struggle. You won't need to chase this moment. It will come gently, divinely, exactly when both hearts are ready to hear what God has been preparing to say through you. Beloved, the angels say the veil between you is thinning. The unseen is becoming seen. The distance is dissolving. The same divine light that once separated you for healing is now guiding you toward reunion through understanding. Every prayer you whispered in the dark is echoing back now as answered peace. You are not forgotten. You are being remembered, not just by them, but by heaven itself. This moment of revelation is not just about love. It is about destiny, because divine love always carries divine purpose. When the two of you come together again, it will not only be to comfort one another, it will be to serve together. You will become mirrors of grace, reminders to others that God restores what the world believes is lost. Your love will be proof that divine delay never means divine denial. It means divine design. He makes everything beautiful in its time. Ecclesiastes 3:11 NIV. That time is approaching. That beauty is unfolding. And soon, both of you will see how perfectly heaven aligned every moment to lead you here. What once caused pain will now bring peace. What once broke your heart will now bless your spirit, because God never ends a story in heartbreak when He has promised redemption. The angels are whispering now, "Be still, beloved, and let revelation come." You do not need to control the timing, only keep your heart open. Because love, when revealed by God, enters gently and stays eternally. There will be signs before it happens. Synchronicities will multiply. Your heart will feel lighter, your prayers more peaceful, your intuition calmer. That will be heaven's way of saying, it's near. When it comes, breathe. Do not question it. Do not fear it. Let your heart recognize what your soul already knows. The angels say this love will not just return, it will redeem. It will turn wounds into wisdom, silence into songs, waiting into worship. Because divine love, once revealed, does not demand proof. It becomes proof. If this message has spoken to your spirit, share it with someone who has been waiting for their own divine revelation. Let them know that God's timing is never late. It is layered with purpose, and if you feel led, you may support this channel through a super thanks. Your kindness keeps these messages of divine peace reaching hearts that need light. Beloved soul, the angels say, this is the moment heaven has been preparing you for. Every tear, every prayer, every lonely night, none of it was wasted. It was sacred preparation for this divine now. The season of delay was never meant to break you. It was meant to build you, to root your faith deeper, to teach you how to love without clinging, and to believe without seeing. Because the kind of love God ordains requires spiritual maturity, a heart that trusts heaven's timing more than its own desire. The angels whisper, the delay was divine protection. They protected you from premature union, because premature love cannot carry divine. Had this connection happened sooner, one or both of you would have mishandled it. But now heaven says the word that changes everything. Now you are ready to see what was hidden. Now they are ready to love without fear. Now your paths align with grace, not pressure. The wait wasn't punishment. It was perfection being formed in unseen places. For so long, you may have asked, why is it taking so long? And the angels gently reply, because God wanted your heart healed, not hurried. He needed you to learn the rhythm of patience, to recognize his voice over the noise of longing, to anchor yourself in faith so you would never again confuse emotional intensity for divine connection. Beloved, you have graduated from waiting in pain to waiting in peace. And heaven celebrates that, because now you no longer wait with desperation, you wait with trust. The angels are showing me an image, a pair of golden doors that have remained locked for years. But now light shines through the cracks, and I hear the sound of them opening. That is what's happening in your spirit right now. The door is opening. The yes is being spoken over you. Where you once faced rejection, there will now be recognition. Where you once saw endings, there will now be divine entrances. Heaven is aligning conversations, encounters, and miracles that will feel impossible to the human mind. Because when God says now, no resistance can remain. The one who once hesitated is now being moved by the same divine force that delayed them. They are being drawn back, not by guilt, but by grace. They are beginning to understand why no other connection satisfied their soul. The angels say they are hearing the call, that subtle but unmistakable whisper. It's time. Time to heal, time to forgive, time to step into the promise that was written before you both were born. You will feel this shift before you see it. Your spirit will sense peace in places that once felt heavy. Your dreams will become more vivid. Signs will multiply, feathers, numbers, songs, moments of sudden calm in chaos. That will be heaven's way of telling you. The alignment is near. The angels want you to understand something powerful. When heaven moves, it doesn't rush. It orchestrates. The reunion will not come through chance. It will come through divine precision. At the right moment, in the right place, through the right circumstance, your souls will meet again. And this time, everything will feel different. The energy will be peaceful. The timing will be effortless. The love will be clear. You won't need to question it, analyze it, or protect it. Because love ordained by God protects itself. This time, the conversation will begin with honesty. The connection will be rooted in understanding. There will be no games, no fear, no running. They will speak, not from uncertainty, but from revelation. They will tell you how the delay humbled them, how they found God in the space between you, and how every sign, every whisper, every moment apart only confirmed that you are the one heaven never allowed them to forget. Beloved, listen closely, the angels say. Do not look back with regret. Look forward with reverence, because you are not returning to what was. You're stepping into what always was meant to be. The love that's coming now is not the same love you lost. It is resurrected love, reborn, purified, and anointed. This time, it will not drain you. It will restore you. It will not confuse you. It will clarify you. It will not rush you. It will reverence you, because heaven will not let you settle for less than what was promised. The angels are rejoicing right now, not just because love is returning, but because your heart is finally ready to receive it. You learned the sacred art of surrender. You stopped begging for what was delayed and started blessing what was being built. You trusted the process even when it broke you open, and now heaven says, your faith has unlocked the door, divine. Union is not about two perfect people, it is about two surrendered souls being used as vessels of love. Your reunion will not only bring you joy, it will bring others hope. Through your story, others will see that waiting is not wasted when it is done with faith. You will become a living testimony that delay does not mean denial. It means divine design. The angels say, this is your divine hour. You are stepping into answered prayers, restored peace, and the fulfillment of promises that once felt forgotten. The season of silence is over. The energy of movement is here, and heaven is whispering your name with joy. Now, says the Lord, now is the time I make all things new. Take a deep breath, beloved. This is your spiritual sunrise. The long night of waiting has ended. Walk forward in trust, because every step from here is guided. Every moment is sacred. Every delay has been redeemed. The angels close with this message for your heart. Love delayed is love perfected, and love perfected in heaven's time never fades. It fulfills. If this message has touched your spirit, share it with someone who needs to know that God's no was never rejection. It was simply a divine not yet. And now, heaven says yes. Thank you for letting these angelic words reach your soul today. You are loved. You are chosen. You are seen. And this is your divine now.